I was just listening to somebody. He just made a short, and he talked about how he instills in his clients how it's their birthright to be blessed and not to let anybody make them feel bad for being blessed. And this is something that I had a problem with growing up. And when you get around people who don't have a lot and you appear to have something, they would often make you feel bad for having something that they feel like they don't have. And I just, at this point, I just stay away from folks like that. Okay, but the reason why is because I grew up with that problem. I grew up, both of my parents were physicians. And I would get this literally every day that kids were mad at me because they felt like it wasn't fair that my parents were doctors and I had a decent life, according to what they thought. According to what they thought, they felt like I had a good life because my parents were doctors. They had, you know what, people don't have any idea what happens in some of these houses. And I'm not going to express that to them either. I'm not going to express that to folks either because I cannot stand jealousy. I cannot stand jealousy. I've seen women who are very pretty. I've seen people who have love in their life. And when I say love, I'm talking about like whether it's a spouse or whether it's love from a good friend or whether it's love from their... One thing I did not have unconditional love from is my doggone mother. But I don't explain that kind of stuff to them because I don't have to explain my plight in life to make them feel better. Now, it's no longer my plight now because I realize love comes from within. But when you like in your 20s and you realize your mother never loved you and actually she hates your guts and wants you gone off this earth, then it kind of hurts your feelings a little bit, you know, because you think that you really think that other people have to love you, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a spouse, but you want somebody to love you, and sometimes nobody ever will. And some of these people would call themselves so jealous over somebody who appears to have a good life. They could have had they might not have had a lot of money growing up, but they could have had a lot of love in their family. But they so busy looking at material stuff, and that's where they are poor. You know, I told my half-sister, because we didn't grow up together. We had the same mother, but I was adopted. And I told her some of the stuff that I went through that kind of scrambled my mind. I would have rather grown up poor and my mind be intact instead of growing up materialistically, growing up well and having your mind freaking scrambled, and then you have to go through life trying to unscramble it because you know, you have a family that feel like they have a right to constantly use black magic against you. You know. Anyway, that's a little too TMI, but still. And that's what I tell you. But see, sometimes they can't see it like that. And I'm so sick of folks who have this poverty mentality to think that everything is about living in a big house. Because I'm going to tell you, I don't live in no big house. And I can go inside of somebody with a big house all day long and will not get jealous that they're in that big house. I'm so sick of people that feel like having a big house and a fancy car is everything the only thing that life has to offer. I can't stand people like that. I can't stand them. Because, like, my sister has 3 children that adores her. She has and she ain't lacking in money either, because this is what I'm saying. She might have grown up poor, but it's not necessarily that she grew up poor. She grew up with a lack of guidance because her mother chose to do drugs. You know, and I'm not hopping on the mother, but she ended up I think she ended up having to get her GED. She ended up getting pregnant at the age of 13, and she ended up having to just find her way through life as a young girl because she was just left on her own. And she finally found somebody when she got pregnant at the age of 13. She, the mother, her baby's father, his mother, mentored her, took her in to mentor her to act as a mother for the one that she didn't have. So she ended up getting something in that way. And now she got 3 kids, 2 of them grown, and everybody adores her. So it's like, I can't stand that mess. I can't stand that mess when people only think about money. This is some shit that's wrong with black people, because I'm around people in a trailer parks. Actually, I have gotten that from white people too. I've gotten that from white people, but not as bad as black people. I mean, when it comes to finances, the black people can be some of the most envious folks. And I get so sick of them thinking that is the only thing that life has to offer is materialistic stuff. Because I'm going to tell you something right now, I'm not in no big house, and I'm not jealous of anybody who lives in a big house. Because I'm by myself. If I'm by myself, what the hell am I living in a big house for with 4 bathrooms and 6 bedrooms and 4 or 5 bathrooms and 6 bedrooms? What the hell am I going to do with that? And I'm living by myself, and I don't want to be in a marriage, and I don't want children. I don't want it. So what the hell am I going to do with a big house? See, why do I just don't, that's something that has always annoyed me. And when somebody want to get jealous over what somebody else has materialistically, when they want to get jealous, I just don't have nothing for them. Because as long as their mind is working, they can do something about their condition, as long as their mind is working. Whenever I see somebody, these people who were jealous of me in high school, they were very smart. Let me tell you, they were very, very smart. So while they grew up a certain way, they were so smart that they could have done whatever the hell they want to do by the time they grew up. If they had the motivation to do it, they could have done whatever the hell they wanted to do. So I don't have anything for a person whose mind is, I don't feel sorry for an intelligent person who want to be jealous of somebody else over some materialistic BS. I have nothing. Now, I can see if a person who has a mental disability, like slightly, let's say slightly mentally challenged, okay? But they are aware of their challenges, so they're not so mentally challenged that they are not aware of their challenges. They have enough awareness to know that there's a problem, and they have enough awareness to know that there's other people who can do things that they just can't do, right, mentally. I can see that kind of person probably being jealous because it's nothing that they can really do about it. I mean, they probably feel like it's different than, oh, I'm poor. Well, as long as your mind is working and your body working, but some people don't have use of all their extremities and still can make money. I mean, I've known people like that too, okay? So I don't want to just say as long as they're physically able. I've seen people who are on electric wheelchairs, power chairs. I've had a person who I worked with in OT. I did occupational therapy with him. He's in a wheelchair. He's actually quadriplegic, but he got some use of his arms. And I was doing therapy with him, but I think in 2015, and he was athletic, and he did some kind of stunt, and I don't think he fell and broke his neck. And he's now in movies. It's called Jonas. I got to look it up. His name is Jamie something Nieto. And he is in, I want to look it up now so I can tell you. But I bet you he ain't jealous of nobody. See, it's all about who you are. I bet you he ain't jealous of nobody. This man moved on with his life. He is in movies. This man is in TV shows as a quadriplegic. He ain't let nothing stop him. Nothing. So I'm tired of people, especially who are able-bodied and who are smart. And when I'm talking about smart, they even know about they know about codes, and they know about manifestation. They know how to get stuff done. What is he? He's in a movie called he's in a show called Raising Canaan. Raising Canaan. I haven't seen it, but I remember him. Okay. I first met him because I cast him. I wanted to put on the play, and I cast him to be in my play. And then a year later, he was doing some kind of stunt. I think he was mentoring young boys or something. I don't know what happened, but he was doing a stunt because he's athletic, and he fell and broke his neck, and he ended up quadriplegic. And I was doing a lot of therapy on him. This man is in a show called Raising Canaan. I don't think he wasted a whole lot of time to be jealous of folks who were able-bodied, but I wouldn't blame him if he was, though. I would not blame him if he was slightly jealous, because that is a hard pill to swallow. But one thing I don't have time for is a person who is smart as hell and who is able-bodied and got the nerve to get jealous over somebody else who look like who driving a nice car and might have a nice house, and they feel like that person just got it made. I don't have patience. I don't have the patience, and I feel nothing for them. I feel nothing for them because they are so small, they are so narrow-minded. Listen, let me tell you something. I can speak up for the people who have Down syndrome. I can speak for the people who have cerebral palsy. I can speak for the people who have autism. Because when I have worked with people with cerebral palsy, but they have enough awareness to know that mentally they can't do some things that other people do. Autism, but they have enough awareness to know that some things that they can't do, some things that other people can do. It's some things that is off, it's not working out. And so, me knowing that world, I feel nothing for an able-bodied, intelligent person to sit there behind and get jealous over some material bullshit that they can get because they smart enough to go out there and get it. They smart enough, savvy enough to go out there and get it. And probably smarter than the person they jealous of. But their ass is too lazy to do anything about it. They lazy. Lazy. Most people that I have met in the projects or wherever, I speak to them and they smart as hell. They are smart. They're smart. Some of these ladies I talk to, I don't care if they on welfare. Let me tell you something about these ladies on welfare. They fucking know how to get some money. They know how to get their money. They know how to get money. Okay? I don't care how they looking. These women are street smart. They're street smart. I'm not saying this about every person on welfare. Oh no. I don't say that. I'm not talking about every person that's on welfare. Because you got a lot of different people on welfare. You got elderly people on welfare. You got a lot of different people on welfare. So I don't mean this for every single person on welfare. But some of these ladies I've spoken to, a lot of them are just street smart. A lot of these people that call themselves want to be jealous over some material stuff, they have a lot of street smarts. So when you have street smarts, you really have a more of an ability to become a millionaire, actually more than somebody who has degrees. When you have street smarts, because when you have street smarts, it really ain't hard for you to go get a degree. It's just a matter of you wanting to put in the time for all that. But when you have street smarts, that's hard to freaking get. Street smarts is not easy to get because a lot of times it has to be something that's in you. Even if you have been around the streets and been around a lot of people in the streets and been around a certain crowds, you have to have that kind of in you. Like it has to be a part of you. So that's why I don't feel sorry for them, because I know their potential. I've been around them too many times and I know their potential. And the problem is with a lot of them, they'd rather get over on people than to go out there and work for it. But with their street smarts, they ain't got to work that hard because they have street smarts. So really they know how to get stuff in ways that other people don't, but they ain't willing to put in the doggone time and effort to even do that part. They just want to spend time being jealous. Okay? So anyway, I just feel like talking about that. Yeah, I had that issue growing up where people just everyday kids were angry at me because my parents were doctors. And let me tell you something. My mother grew up in the projects, and then my father grew up in Texas. And he didn't grow up rich. He grew up just in a regular old house, a regular old family, one-story family house, with like, what, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms? But he had a big family, though. So that house wasn't that big because he had a big family, So they didn't grow up rich, but they decided to go to medical school. My parents decided to go to medical school. You just can't get mad at me Because my parents didn't grow up with a lot either, but they chose to go to medical school. And you want to be mad because somebody chose to do something with their life. Like, I can't deal with people like that. And I get that a lot from black folks, but some white people do it too. But at the same time, I don't have nothing for you. I have nothing for you, that you get mad over somebody else's accomplishments as if anything was given to them. Because right now, in my life right now, ain't nothing given to me. As a matter of fact, a whole lot was taken away. A whole lot is owed to me. Okay? So I had a whole lot taken away. Okay? But anyway, that'll be it, and I'll talk later.